right now, you need to find where you're going and what it looks like. You might not be able to work there quite yet, right? You might not be able to do hair yet. You shouldn't be, because you need a license. But you need to find what that looks like. So think about it like this. When you're dating someone, you don't marry them on the first date, correct? I mean, if you do, you might be in Vegas, right? So you need to try it out. You need to see where you're going. You need to see what you don't like.
Could I add something to that? Yes. So first of all, I wanted to just acknowledge all of you as nighttime students, because I know that what it takes for you, I don't know, I'm not doing your program, but I know in life you're up to a lot if you're here at night, because you have a full schedule. Yeah. You're up to a lot. So you as students tend to be way more committed than any of the students we get to talk to. You're serious about this because you have very few hours in the day for anything else other than surviving and getting through whatever it is that you're doing before here and then after here, and then you're here all day Saturday. So I know you have a lot. So I appreciate you letting us come to talk to you. It's also really important to me that you get value out of us being here, that you get something from us being here tonight. It's not just a night to turn your mind off and chill, and I know that might be what is natural to do, like, oh, it's speaker night, we could just veg out, but it's really important to me that you leave here with something that alters your career forever, like that you leave by the end of the night. We're going to ask you, did you get that one thing? And if you didn't, we'll be back and back and back until you get that, because it's super important to me that you succeed, that you win, that you fulfill on your dream. You're here because of some dream that you had about this career. This is something you're passionate about. You had to give up a lot of other things in life to make this happen. And now you're in this program, which, by the way, is an awesome program. And you're blessed and gifted to have such an incredible teacher who brings the real world into here by having her own salon and bringing what life is like in the outside world into here on a daily basis. It's awesome. Plus, she is the heart of a teacher. She loves, it's more rewarding for her to see you have the victory you had with your first guest than 100 clients within any number in her bank account. This is a better fulfillment of any bank ever. So with that said, I appreciate the fact that we have this opportunity to come talk to you, but I'm putting you all on the hook for making sure that you get something from here tonight that alters your career and that changes the course of your career forever. Whether you're at 300 hours, 600 hours, 900 hours, or 1,150 hours, wherever that is, it's important to me. We don't come here to recruit. While we open our doors as an invitation to recruit, we'd love to have every one of you that is open to it, but that's not our intention. Our intention is to make sure that the industry grows, that the people who are investing in their lives and in this career are going to succeed. They're going to win, that you're going to be here in 5, 10, and 15 years in this amazing field. So we're here to support you in fulfilling on that dream, whatever that takes. We also offer ourselves to you, and we'll talk about that later, but for opportunities to come and shadow and spend time in our salons and coach and teach and mentor and do whatever we can on that side. But Jennifer's covering some of the key points that she sees that are missing for people when they come out of school, that they're the missing components of mentoring. And I know your educator talks about that too, like finding a home. And that's got to start early, not at the end. It's got to start now. Early in your career, you've got to start investigating. Now, I know you guys especially don't have a lot of time. So you got to figure out ways to get that in there to where you're visiting and finding and shadowing and being in salons early on. Don't wait till the end, because while you're in the conversation makes it a lot easier to at least start experiencing it. If there's a salon that doesn't want you hanging around in there, or doesn't want you being there, or doesn't want you shadowing there, you don't want to be there anyway. There's something wrong with the mix there. If there's not a bunch of people in there with hearts that want to give and teach and develop and help you, that's what you're looking for anyway, because this is just the foundation. This is just the first step in the getting that license from the state is really just the first little piece. Then the real world comes, and then the real learning comes to get your master's at that next level. So I just wanted to add that point because I know, especially because of your group, more than any, you have very little time, but you want to start making that a priority early on to find the people that you like to be around, to find the mentors, to find the salons where the vibe feels good and you like it and it works well for you.
It can be as simple as when you go shopping, just walk in and ask them how much a haircut is. You can tell by the way they greet you whether you even want to spend time there. Do you feel comfortable as walking in and asking that? If you don't feel comfortable with that, how are you going to work there? Does that make sense? So it could narrow down what you're not looking for. It doesn't mean, how much time have you spent in salons or barbershops? How much time have you spent there? Do you know what is to be expected? Do you know what life is like there? If you don't, spend as much time as you can. And I do understand your time is limited. I get that. Totally do. Time is precious. But when you do it while you're in school, when you come back, you can talk to your educators about what you experienced and whether that is normal. Is that something you need to adjust to because that's the way life is in salons and barbershops? Or no, I want to steer clear of a shop that's doing that. Does that make sense? And the thing about finding your home is, as I said, you can drive down 41 and hit 100 salons, right? But the reality is they're small business owners. How stable are they? Who owns that shop? Who are you working for? Who are you working with? And you want to know that before you leave, because 6 months after you leave, the tuition bills start rolling out and you got to pay them. And you want to pay them with confidence. You want to know where you're going in 6 months. You don't want to have to figure that out. So I say that because you have this little safety net where you can come back and say, I went and checked out this salon and I don't know, I didn't feel good about it, or I felt great about it, but, and you can ask those questions to find out if that's really where you want to be. Does that make sense? And then your instructors might actually say something that sparks you to ask more, dig further, and make sure it's where you want to be. It's kind of like you wouldn't marry somebody without checking with your parents, like, hey, why don't you meet this person and see if you like them? Does that make sense? Like the person that you look up to, you'd want them to meet them before you walk down the aisle. So it's kind of like that. They have insight that you don't, that they might see or ask questions about. So being here, when you leave, even if you're very close with your instructor in school, you might not want to bug them. So you don't reach out. And then you think, I don't know what to do. Or you get in a salon and you're stuck. And the statistics show that the completion rate to 5 years, so you complete here and you put all the work you're putting in here. The reason we're here is we want to change what happens in the next 5 years. The rate of you doing hair in 5 years is 20%. And those numbers are scary to us, and we know.
2 out of 10. So
we know that part of that is being in a place where you can grow, and you have to find where that is for you. So I know that sounds scary, but that's why we're here, is to talk about it, to bring awareness to it, and help make a change on that. That first year is the hardest. I almost was a statistic. I went to work the very first day and it wasn't the place I was supposed to be. I was told all the wrong things, but I trusted them because they knew more. They had been doing hair for years. What do I know? I just got my license. I barely can put color on a head. What do I know? I left crying because they told me all the wrong things. They were very catty. They were the mean girls. And I never was doing hair again. Thankfully, I did have a connection with my teacher. I had to go back to school because I either had to work or go to school because I was 17 when I started. So I was in high school. So I just told her, I don't care. I'm coming to school every day. Forget the work program. So that's crucial to finding a place that's going to help you grow.